public relations officers were actually used more like fire brigade people that are brought in, to either kill bad news in the press or, sort of just crayon your reputation. So sometimes some people have the perception that a PR person is a fixer, somebody who just garnishes a story, embellishes it, sometimes even with lies. But if you trace back to the origin of the World Public Relations Day, which today falls on the 16th, it's actually the birthday of a gentleman called Ivy Lee. Now, Ivy Lee is a person who is reputed to be the father of modern public relations. He's an American. He used to work for New York Times, and he created what he called the Ivy Lee Principles. And the essence was, look, pull away from just amplification or just, broadcasting press releases, but stick to the values you mentioned: truth, factuality, credibility. So you move away from just spin to something that is based on substance and resonance. And so public relation officers became what they have now reached, what is called the golden age in 2026, as being people who are the connective thread, where like the tissue that links marketing, advertising, and all the others, mass communication. Now, in the public relations ecosystem, a term recently emerged called, perma-crisis. Perma-crisis means permanent crisis. Permanent crisis, arising from things like climate change, inflation, and so on and so forth, pandemics, COVID-19, and things that remain and continue for a very long time. For instance, President Bola Tinubu comes in and he says, look, I'm removing fuel subsidy. How do you deal with that? You don't just issue press releases. You deal with it with what is called structured public relations. So they realized that as early as 1929 in the United States of America, because they created the office called the Office of the Press Secretary. That's the beginning, almost 100 years ago, in 1929. And the White House, after 40 more years, in 1969, felt the office of the Chief Press Secretary is not enough for the President of the United States. So they created what they call the Director of Communications. And when Donald Trump, the current president, came the first time in 2016, he created the office of the Director of Strategic Communication. And it pulls from, the Press Secretary to the Director of Communications to the Strategic, that's the umbrella that actually connects all of them, from the press release, to reputation management, to even advisory role in policy, to shaping public perception. You're right in the forefront, at the center. So the public relations person is no longer the fire brigade person or the one who kills bad news. Public relations has become a function of leadership, no longer just a management tool that you use to clear bad things or you promote someone. No. Public relations is at the center, and that's what's been celebrated today. That the priceless value of forging understanding, cultivating knowledge, and even bringing the world as one unified voice, because although we're heterogeneous, is the essence of public relations. So this year you have the World Public Relations Day happening, and in Nigeria we'll be having the World Public Relations Forum, which will host 126 countries right here in Abuja.
One of the worst things that is happening in Nigeria, let me use Nigeria for example, to us as leaders, that nobody says no to us. If you're a governor in Nigeria, which I've been, people celebrate you to point of stupidity. Because you come to a place, somebody is telling you, oh, since you became governor, everything has changed. And you're looking, nothing has changed. And they give us of award. They call you of name. Like you will see, His Excellency. You've been in school. When you talk about excellent, is after fair, good, very good, best, excellent. So His Excellency means a life we can emulate. But you see somebody who is not even fair, they're calling him His Excellency.